Hello there, this is Software Sensei. Welcome back to our brand new video. In today's video, let's dive deep into what math objects are and what its properties are being used. So enough talk, let's get right into this video. Okay, so what is math object? The math object is a built-in object in JavaScript that provides properties and methods for mathematical constants and functions. Okay, so let's look at different types of built-in objects for math. So the first object we're looking for is math round. So math.round. It returns the integer and rounds up to nearest number. So for example, if we call this one z equals to math round, math.round x and console.log with returning z. This should give you the full integer number, which is 5, because you're rounding up from 4 and shows that it shows a expression that can be rounded to the nearest number. So let's change this number to 3.13. It still said 3 because 3.13 is closest to 3. Yeah, so this is what a math round object is. Alright, so let's look at math floor. Math floor returns the greatest integer less than or equal to its numeric argument, meaning that it rounds down to an integer. So in this example here, we'll call this one as z. Math floor x using the floor method, floor object, and console.log z, and it gives you, and the output is 3 because the integer has been rounded down to its numeric value. There is also mathseal. Mathseal returns the smallest integer greater than or equal to its numeric argument, meaning that it rounds up to the nearest number instead of rounding down, but it's opposite to mathfloor. Okay, so let's call z equals to maths.seal. We call this as x, and console.log z, and it now returns back to 4. So it rounds up this time. So this is what mathseal is. Next object we're looking for is math.absolute. So math.abs returns the absolute value of the number. So for example, if we call it z, math.abs, this time we call this one as minus x because we want to return the minus to the positive integer. Console.log return from z, which is now earlier on minus x is now positive x, which is 3.13. If we can just change just to 3, it'll be just 3. Or 90. Now it returns all of it to 90 because same thing, we return everything from z. Yeah, so this is math absolute. Also, there is maths random. Math random returns a floating point pseudo-random number in a range of 0 and 1. So between 0 and 1, it will be a decimal or a integer. So let's say z, and we will return it to math random as a object. Console.log, return it from z, and now it shows a random decimal because it ranges from 0 to 1 using the floating point. Also, this is a float number which is included as a decimal. There is also a math power object, which is the math power object returns the base to the exponent power, meaning that when you multiply the integer from an integer, it will give you a power number. Let's look through. So Z, we call this one as Z as per usual, math.power, and we call both X and Y in the parentheses, console.log that we're printing, and there we have it. You have the power. Let's change this one as 5 and 5. It gives you this number, 5 and 2, which is 32, because both you have X and Y, you're powering out a specific power. So in the parameter, X is the base value of the expression, Y is the exponent value of the expression. So it returns the base expression to a specified power in this circumstance. So this is the math power object. There's an object called math squared, opposite to math power, but use square rooting of a number. So let's call Z equals to math squared X, then console.log.z, and now it gives you a float number, which is known as a decimal number since it's square rooting as a number. Let's change X to 4. Now this time gives you an integer, which is 2, and another square number, 49, which is known as 7, because 49 is a square number. There is also known as maths.sin. So maths.sin returns the sign of a number in radians. So what it means is it only returns from an integer value to a positive and negative. So let's call this one as Z math.sin, and we'll return this one as X console.log Z, and it will give you a negative number, because normally in a graph it will show a slope where it goes negative. And let's change this value to 40, and this one indicates that it goes in a positive direction. So let's search what it looks like. Sing graph. So this is a slope where it goes up and down, positive and negative. This is what a sing graph looks like, and that's similar to what it shows in programming. There is maths.cos. This time it returns a cosine of a number in radians. So similar to what mathsin, but this time it shows maths cos. So let's copy this and use cos as an example, and there go. This one shows you a float number, but a different number this time because it only shows cos. Cos is slightly similar to sin, but this time sin, it only uses a different graph compared to cos. There's also known as math.tan. So math.tan returns a tan of a number in radians. So similar to cos and sin, this time it returns the tangent of a number in radians. Let's copy this example and paste and modify from cos to tan. And the output shows the decimal number, which is 1.5. If we round out to one decimal place, it shows 1.6, 0.5 for cos, and 0.8 for sin. So here are both sin, cos, and tan, different numbers. The final aspect in math programming is both math.max and math.min objects. So math.max returns the minimum of the number, so the highest number, whereas math.min returns the maximum of the number, as known as the smallest number. Let's use, as an example, let's use math.max and x and y in the parentheses and w as a new variable. So I introduce a new variable, let w equals to 4. Okay, so let's use console.log and the maximum number is 5. Copy and paste, modify this as min. So the minimum number, so the smallest number, is 1. So this is what math.max and math.min. It returns both minimum value and maximum value, both highest and smallest. I'm going to wrap up this video today. This was me demonstrating on math objects in JavaScript. Comment down below if I have missed any objects in JavaScript. Make sure to hit a like, subscribe, turn your notification bell so you don't miss a video. I'll be uploading more project videos and basic aspects. This is your boy Sosten. I'm out. Peace.